Chris is a British military, ex-military, currently on the search for Jay Slater. I've managed to track him pretty much all morning. There have been some deviations with as you can see, there's a live screen of Chris Pennington, British military guy over in Tenerife, that is currently been out this morning, since early this morning. It's now nearly 1 o'clock. He is just returning in his car down towards Masca. He's been tracked all morning. I have to tell you that what he has actually done today is incredible. Him, and not just himself, he's actually there with another British military guy. I'm not going to name him. That's down to Chris and the person in question. But they are guys, you know, unreal, absolute legends. They've managed to get down so far into the valley today. I'll show you pretty much where they have been, which is along there, down into the ravine to this point, down into here. Tried to follow this. What they found is this is so steep, you can take it, but if you do that in a pair of trainers, you are not coming back up any of these. It's a man trap. Once you've gone down one of these or towards this line, you won't be coming back up the valley. He said you might be able to hold on to the tree and scramble your way back out, but the likely route would be down, because once you've done this, there's no option. If you've come down into these, there's no option to go back. So that was what was actually highlighted by Chris today on the Jay Slater search. There it is. That's the latest for Chris Pennington. It'd be great to see later on. I mean, he's been updating me all day with various photographs, images, GPS locations. But yeah, just to let you know, he is nice and safe. Both of the lads are back safe, and they're currently in the car, and hopefully they're going to go for a nice pint. GPS not showing Chris where he should have been at certain times.
About hang on, mate. That's the last ping. He's come down through from the top road down to here. The only place you can sit down. He'd have been knackered, he'd have been cut, he'd have been grazed, scratched, exhausted, bulldozing his way through that in shorts and a t-shirt. What? That's how easy it is done. And I've got the right kit on. Yeah, I'm sat on, mate. Yeah. He's sat down where I'm sat down now, looking at the ocean. Made that call to Lucy. This is exactly where his phone pinged. I'll meet you at that rendezvous point, yeah?
Yep, okay. That's that patch of grass, the green triangle, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Back at the RP point, which is where I left Chris. There's my little walking sticks. He went down here on his butt. I think he went down there. Yeah, he didn't go this one. He went down this one. I didn't like the look of it. It was too steep for me. I didn't have the sticks, and I'm just not going to put myself at that kind of risk. I mean, I'm not saying it's dangerous, and you've got these deep sort of ravine cuts. You might not see them here, but they kind of cut. They're cut, and they're probably a good 4 feet deep, if not more. I don't know what's down there, but he went down there to try and get to this green patch. I've tried shouting, and I'm not getting any response from him, so I'm going to call him in a sec. I know he had 50% on his phone, but all good. I'm sure he's fine. He's got the right training, he's got water, he's got some food. So, but yeah, I think he went down there. This was part of the exercise to go to, I think this was RS1 or S1, as Luggy said. And then there was an OP observation point, I don't know. This is the RV, rendezvous point, or the RP, I'm not sure. But yeah, okay.
So this is the issue we've got now. I'm right down in the middle of the ravine. I'm stuck at the bottom because there's no way through. To go back, I've got to go all the way back up there. Oh, I've got to try and find the shelves. Work my way off where we wanted to go. Get back to a path and see if I can go another way. Fuck. Oh man. That was hard. Midday heat. Bottom of the ravine. Stuck at the bottom. It was so dense. Could not get through it.
There's no way he's going to.
Oh mate.
Not on your Nelly.
I was thinking I was going to be stuck down there, man. It was like just tiptoe bit by bit back up. Oh fucking wreck me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've just arrived back home. What we've tried to do with the map, which we're going to share with all of you guys who've got an interest in Jay and helping to find Jay, is we've approached this using the facts and in a sober-minded way and not deviating from the facts. We've not got involved in conspiracy theories. We don't want to do that because we don't want to potentially ruin innocent people's lives. I'm not a detective, never professed to be one. I'm not a mountaineer. I was a volunteer that responded to a call from the Guardia Civil to go up and help, and on the day I went up and helped, the search was cancelled. I'm just a concerned citizen, and I was doing this to try and help find Jay for his family. Now, in the videos that we're going to put up, and thanks for the whole team and everyone who's helped from afar and everyone who's helped up close and personal, especially Adrian, especially Luggy. Guys, we couldn't have done no, this was our team effort, and what we've done is we've created our plan based on the information we had in front of us. Once we had our plan based on the evidence and the facts, we've spent 5 times more time research and analysing and using the process of elimination to really home in our plan like a laser guided target. So when we put boots on the ground, we're not wandering through the mountains aimlessly, we're visiting specific spots. Now, what you'll see in the videos is a series of decisions that Jay would have had to take. And once he's come off road, that was a mistake. I've been up there today with 4.5 litres of liquid and all the correct war hiking gear. Jay was in shorts and a t-shirt and trainers. He was hungry, he wanted to go and get some scran, and he had no water on him. He would have dehydrated really quickly. I was prepared, Jay wasn't. So keep that in mind when you look at all the videos. Put yourself in the mindset of Jay. What would he have done in that situation? What would you have done in that situation? At every key step, every key decision point. And I think what you'll find is Jay went off-road, which was a mistake. You'll see the area of the foam ping. You'll see it's one of the only areas you can sit. Then he's gone to the RP point, which we'll put the maps up so you can see it. At the point where he's gone off the RP point, you're now in the ravine. And when you get to the ravine, you come to the V point at the bottom. Once you get to that, there's no coming back. There's no coming back. It's a man trap. If Jay's got that far, remember, all he's got no fluids, he's got no phone, he's got no communication, he's in a strange place. Now he's lost, and now he's scared. No one in the world dare to help him. And at that point, he finds himself in a man trap. The only thing he's got now is survival instinct. And his survival instinct is gravity. Gravity's going to keep taking him down Remember, he wasn't climbing mountains, he was going down them. And he was heading for the coast. Now, unless the Guardia Civil or the Spanish military are going to put on another search and really search the areas that we're going to post, then my belief is one day someone else, a hiker, will get in trouble in that barranco, in that ravine, and they'll have to be saved. And only when people go into it again with a search party, I think, are we going to find Jay. Let's say he was lucky and he managed to get through it all against all the odds, and he got to the beach. Even when he got to the beach, it's like something out of Pirates of the Caribbean. There's no access to the beach, only by that barranco or by boat. Jay has made a series of mistakes, not knowing the consequences of those decisions. Jay is stuck somewhere in that barranco, in that mountain, lost. One day he'll be found.
Well, let's return now to the breaking news about the discovery of a body in the search for the missing teenager Jay Slater in Tenerife. Let's talk now to Chris Pennington, who's been involved in the search for Jay and joins us now. Chris, just tell us a little bit about what you've been doing out there.
Hi, good afternoon. Yeah, we've been involved. We've responded actually to a call from the Guardia Civil to go and help with their search, which was due to start on the 29th of June, if I remember correctly. I couldn't actually go that day, so I went the following day, the Sunday, and that was the day that the official search was called off. So myself and two friends, colleagues, we were using the research and the information that we had gathered, and we started to conduct our own search in that area. Essentially, our thought pattern was to put ourselves in the mindset of Jay, and at each step or each position along that track, based on the information that we knew to be true, what decisions would Jay have made? And essentially, we were trying to track his, or retrace his steps and track him through the mountains. We've been working for 3 weeks, and we've done a number of recce's up on the site, particularly the point at which we believed he left the road and came down into the thicket, into the bush area. The actual location of where his phone last registered, which we found. And from there, we used the process of elimination to actually track Jay through the mountains. I was there again on Saturday. One of my colleagues was in the ops room. He was tracking me with satellite and location software. I had another colleague with me for safety, because we were going to have to, I was going to have to come off into the ravine for us to thoroughly work through our hypothesis. I actually got stuck on Saturday, and at that time I was exhausted from the heat, extremely tired, couldn't make my way through the ravine, so we couldn't finish our recce the way we would have liked. I actually had to make my way back up to the trap, which was exhausting. That whole area is a heat trap, and as you get into the middle of the day, it's almost unbearable. So yeah, we understand the terrain. It's virtually impossible, but we believe that Jay, had he have gone into survival mode, gravity was taking him down into the ravine, and really his only lifeline would have been to head for the coast and head for the ocean, because it would have been impossible for him to turn back and come up to the road. Absolutely no way.
And how close was where you were searching, do you know, to where this body has been found?
I don't know exactly the point where the body's been found, so I don't want to speculate. But from the research that we had, we believed, I was trying to get to a place less than 500 meters further on, because this is where it becomes, the ravine is, the cliffs and the drops are a couple of 100 feet. And had Jay have made it that far, unfortunately, he would not have been able to get down there safely. He would have been dehydrated, confused, scared, lost. And at that point, you just have to think that, you know, he would have had an accident. Certainly an amateur like myself, there's no way I could have got to those cliffs and navigated my way down. The only way it could have been done is if the Guardia Civil or the Spanish military brought in a specialist team to go back and search that area. It just isn't safe for people of my capacity or amateurs to go and search there. It really is treacherous terrain.
And you're a former Army reservist, and you know you're obviously pretty tough. But you found it hard. It does kind of give some kind of indication, doesn't it, how a 19-year-old who is possibly not quite as life experienced as you may have easily got into difficulties.
Yeah, this is the thing. Had Jay been going uphill, of course, when you go uphill, you always have the chance to come down. But unfortunate for Jay, he was going down into a ravine. And once you start going down, it's almost impossible to get back up. Like I say, the heat exhausts you. He would have been in survival mode and just desperately trying to head for the coast. Unfortunately, he was completely unaware of what was ahead of him. But I also was unaware, and this is why we used simulation. We used LiDAR tracking systems so that we knew what was ahead of us, or what was ahead of myself walking down there. And unfortunately, you get to a point where it's a man trap. You're trapped down there, and the only way for Jay to have gotten out was to just keep heading for that coast. And unfortunately, it was an impossible situation for him, you know.
Are you surprised it's taken so long to find him?
No, not at all. It's to search that area, you have to be focused on your own steps. It's that dangerous. I mean, I'm banged and bruised and scratched and cut, and I had the proper kit to look after your own safety and make sure you don't fall and come to injury yourself, and search for somebody at the same time. It's almost an impossible task. I mean, the Guardia Civil have done a phenomenal job. I can't express in words just how difficult it is.
Well, Chris Pennington, really interesting to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us today on Sky.
Thank you.
Now, England's players have arrived home following their defeat to Spain in the final of Euro 20.